My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Mortal Engines. And I'm going to begin this review very differently by talking about a completely different franchise, the Star Wars movies. Now, everybody loves the original trilogy, and rightfully so. Those movies are great. But then we've got the prequel trilogy that everybody hated for the longest time. People made so many jokes at those movies' expense, but then something happened. The new Disney movies came out, and these movies suck. They're bland, they're soulless, and it caused people to go back to the prequel trilogy with more kindness. Well, yes, it's messy and the writing and acting isn't the best, but they're also very ambitious, the action is exciting, and you can tell that George Lucas truly cared about these characters and the story being told. And I bring this up because that's how I view this movie. It's big, it's ambitious, and it might be flawed, but you could tell it was made with the utmost love and care, and I really liked it. In fact, I'm kind of bummed out it was a complete failure because I would have loved it if this movie became a franchise. So let's begin talking about the performances. And here, Helmer, I think, does a real good job. She doesn't always bring the emotional weight that's needed, but she was entertaining when she was on screen, and she does everything she needs to well enough. I also do find her look with the red scarf to be iconic. Like, even before I watched this movie, I could tell you exactly what movie this character was from. Then you've got Robert Sheehan, who reminded me of Justin Long, but I think he did a real good job. He plays this character with the most amount of sincerity, and I liked what he brought to this movie. Not a great performance, but good enough. And I do like the relationship that forms between these two characters. They couldn't be more different, but they had enough chemistry, and I was surprised at how moved I was by their relationship by the end. You've also got Hugo Weaving, who plays a very thinly written character, but he elevates him in every sense. This is a great villain performance. He's able to play two completely different sides of this character so incredibly well. Well, he tries to come across as sweet and caring, but how deep down he's a truly evil man, and he just showcases all of that so incredibly well. It's a character you love to hate. Then we've got Jihai, who I don't really think was necessary. Whole character really did nothing for me. Then we've got Lila George, who did look a little out of place, but I still think she did a fine enough job. She doesn't have much material to work with, and same with Ronan Raftery. You think they might have a bit more to do, but ultimately they just feel wasted. And then we've got Stephen Lang, who I think does a great job. He brings the right amount of menace to this character, and I was impressed. So, yeah, like it never feels like they got the best actors for this movie, but everyone does the best job they can do, and I still think the cast is strong enough. The movie's directed by Christian Rivers, who I don't think has directed any other movies, but you can just tell he put his heart and soul into this movie. There is so much passion on display. Like, the entire premise of this movie is cities that have become vehicles. Like, that is a batshit premise, and it's brought to life so perfectly. I think the CGI is really strong. The production design looks great. In this movie, I just found to be visually stunning. But you've also got some real exciting and thrilling action scenes. Like, there's one early on where they're in this city that's getting destroyed. There was this one great fight in the Air City. The climax I thought was great. lots of enjoyment to be had in that regard. And it's just ambitious. Like, you watch this movie and it feels big. And I love that. But then we get to the script. And, okay, truthfully, the script is a bit of a mess. There is too much going on. There's too many characters. And it can feel a little all over the place. I do wish it was written in a title manner, but holy shit, there is still some weird stuff I love. Like, you've got an evil cyborg dad brought back to life who wants to turn his daughter into a robot. You've got a flying city. You've got a weapon of mass destruction. Like, there's so many elements to this movie that I do love. And yes, I wish it was written a bit better, but it's messy, but that's kind of what I loved about it. You know, I would say my biggest issue with the pacing of this movie is that it keeps going back to Hester's backstory, and I feel like this should have been the prologue. Yeah, and sometimes it feels like they're doing tropes just for the sake of it. Like, she's got this eye locket, and surprise, it turns out there's something inside, and it's just like, well, obviously, did you really not find out until now? But for all this movie's faults, I still enjoyed it. Like I said, there's just so much passion on display that how could I not? The movie is exciting, it's fun, it's ambitious. I liked all these characters enough. I'm giving Mortal Engines a 7 out of 10. It really is a shame this movie wasn't bigger because I would have loved a sequel. But Mortal Engines, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.